YouTube automation is an underrated business. Not many people know about it, but my guest today is amazing at. So Yuri, tell us about yourself.
Yes, what's up, guys? So my name is Youri. I'm from the Netherlands. I'm currently 21 years old, and I'm into the YouTube automation business model, like Nico just said. And yeah, we'll probably get into that and explain what that is all about a bit later on into the podcast. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, what do you want to know more
Let's
about
start
that?
off with these like really simple questions. Who
Mm-hmm.
was your inspiration to start YouTube, doing all these YouTube?
Yeah, so that's kind of like a very good question. So originally I started in 2013 even. I was like 12 years old at the time. And I was
Around
just
my
filming
age.
myself. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I was just filming myself playing football, soccer if you're in the US, and just putting that up on YouTube, like nothing serious, just for fun. And yeah, I just kind of enjoyed making those videos, then uploading them onto YouTube. Now, back at the time, that was in like 2013. Like I said, first of all, it wasn't cool. You were an idiot if you were doing that stuff. So it wasn't cool, wasn't socially accepted, and you couldn't make money. So it was just for fun. But if we fast forward to the part where I actually got into it to like not only to make money, but had the goal to actually grow it and become somewhat successful with that. That was 2019. And the inspiration kind of came from people like Graham Stephan and Reyes the entrepreneur, if I remember correctly, because they were making those videos sharing their revenue, their income with the YouTube partner program. So that kind of showed me that there are indeed people out there and that is indeed possible to make money with YouTube from the ads on your videos. And they showed the CPM, how much you can make, all of that stuff. So yeah, I kind of just thought by myself, if I can only get, well, not only, but if I can just get a million views within the first 2 years, I'm going to make roughly this amount. And then that's already going to be pretty decent. So yeah, that was kind of like the inspiration and why I got started in the first place.
Yeah, so let's get into what you do. You run
For
YouTube
sure.
automation channels and cash cow channels. So I'm not sure how many of
Hmm.
my viewers know what a cash cow channel is. So what is a
Yeah.
cash cow?
Yeah, so throughout the years, it kind of has had all of these like cash cow and I don't know where those names are coming from, honestly. But basically, to simply explain it, you've got normal YouTubers, I mean like Logan Paul, David Dobrik. So they're
Mhm.
like personalities. They film themselves. They put that out there. And for example, if I now make a video on their channel, it's not going to perform because no one cares who I am. But with the cash cow channels or YouTube automation channels, you are building up YouTube channels without you being on the channel, meaning that you're not actually required to be making videos, do anything for
On
that
camera,
channel.
basically.
Exactly. Of course, you're the one running the channels and like running the business itself, but you don't have to be on camera. You don't have to show your face. And that allows you to build channels without actually being the person that needs to be interesting or needs to be funny or
The
needs to
star, the
be
face of the channel.
whatever. Exactly. So no one knows who you are if you want to keep it that way, of course. But you're still going to be able to make money from those channels. And the way you do that is simply explain you have the video production. Let's say you pay $50 to get a video done and you upload that to your channel and that video ends up making $500. You've got a profit. You don't repeat that process. You've got yourself a business. Now that makes it sound very easy, but that is pretty much the concept. So you're hiring a team of creators. They create the videos for you. You give them instructions, all of that, and you are the one that owns the channel and actually make sure the videos get views.
Yeah, that's definitely that sounds very interesting. So how did you first find out what it was and why did you decide to start one?
Yeah, so once again, when I started in 2019, when I got inspired by Graham and all these guys, I just started out myself making videos because that was kind of what I've been doing since I was like 15 or so. So I knew I could do that. And then slowly but surely, I started actually succeeding with that myself. So back at the time, at that moment, I was still making the videos. But then I remember there was a period where I was ill for like a couple of days and I literally saw the revenue go down from, I believe I was making like $100 at a day at that time. And because I was ill, I could not make videos. It dropped all the way to like 40 or $50 per day. And then I
Yeah.
realized, okay, so I don't really have a business, but I am the business. So I need to be the person that needs to perform. I need to make the videos. I need to do this and this and this. And if I don't do that, the revenue will keep on coming in, but not as high as when I would actually be uploading. So that's the moment I kind of realized that I need to switch from being the business to having a business. But I'm pretty sure there's these guys on Instagram, and that's where I saw it at first, that were kind of like coming up as the YouTube automation gurus. They were sharing all of these screenshots and stats and whatever it is.
And now it's
So that's
like
kind of like where
TikTok
I
automation guru.
are they there? Yeah, I got no
Yeah,
clue, man. I don't
it's
I
like
don't use any of the social medias.
I've seen so many people like all of a sudden become social media like like YouTube automation
Mm-hmm.
gurus, like YouTube with Frida, YouTube scientists. I saw you follow
Yeah, I've
them.
seen a couple.
And then this other guy, Nuraz, and his brother. I don't remember his brother's name, but yeah.
Yeah, they're a lot. Well, by the way, I'm not saying they're gurus and they're scammy people, whatever. I'm just saying like they started to like have this huge amount of people just posting about it and explaining how it works and showing their stats and all of that. So yeah, that's kind of when I found out about the business model in the first place.
So when you find out about the business model, how were you finding money to actually like outsource?
Yeah, so that was kind of like yeah, I'm not gonna it's not lucky, but like I said, I started in 2019. I started doing all of it myself. So back then I was 18 years old. I had some money, I had a few $1,000s to my name maybe from some previous stuff I had done, but I wasn't at the point where I had income and I was not willing to invest all of that money at the time. So I just used my time instead of money to build up my first channel. So I invested and used all of my own time, built up that channel, got to a point where it got monetized, was making money. And then when I actually started YouTube automation, that was last year, like mid 2020, maybe a bit before that. So I already had some money and income from that channel that I can use to build up the YouTube automation stuff. So yeah, it's kind of like it wasn't that I started with YouTube and then YouTube automation from
Yeah.
absolutely zero. I started from zero, but used my own time, did the work myself, and then because of that, I had the results, I had the knowledge, I had the money to pretty much fund the other project.
Yeah, so most like these YouTube automation people have more than one channel at once.
Mm-hmm.
So how many channels do you have, and how many succeed, and how many of them fail?
That's a very good question, mate, because I can say I've got like a million channels, but it's only about how many do actually make money, right? So
Yeah,
right now, channels that are actually succeeding, I would say I've got three channels that are actually doing well. And right now focusing on my fourth and fifth channel. But what I've done or what I'm trying to do is not have like a million channels. I just want to have say maybe five, maximum six channels, but make sure they're just making a lot of money, actually become pioneers in that niche. I noticed back in the start of this year, I was actually trying to do like 8 channels or 9 channels. And I don't know, it got really confusing for me. Like focus is not on that channel, then not on that channel. So yeah, for me, I would say I'm trying to get to maybe five, 6 channels that are actually doing good numbers. That's kind of like where I see this going in the next few months. But I don't know. Maybe it's just because I didn't have the right systems in place. Because it's definitely possible to have like 20 channels, but you just need some incredible systems to run all of that. Because obviously you cannot spend just your time on all of these channels. It's really hard.
what patterns have you seen? What things have you seen that you do that makes the channel do well, and what things have you seen that you do that makes the channel?
Yeah, so that's a like a kind of like a hard question because it's kind of different for each channel and each niche. But what I would say at first, I always try and go, well, first of all, I always try and find a niche that has been proven to work. So I don't really try and reinvent the wheel and come up with this amazing, brand new, like mind-blowing idea. So I was trying to find a niche that is growing really well as of right now. So when I find a channel like that, I just look at what they are doing. I research like why is it working? Are they going for longer videos? Are they going for shorter videos? Blah blah blah. So just trying to see what they're doing. Then I kind of like not copy that because that's not the right way to do it. But I just take what they are doing. I use that myself, try and improve it, add more value to the videos, improve it, and then pretty much go with that. As if like that's much better than just copying a channel that is working now because
Yeah,
you don't just want to become another one of these channels. You want to try and become like a channel on itself, you know?
yeah, because if let's say you are in one niche and there are a lot of people doing it, a good thing to
Mm-hmm.
do is look at the other people doing it, see what they're doing, the videos are long. Basically, what you just said,
Yeah.
look at your competition.
Yeah, exactly. So pretty much finding proof of concept is mainly what I do. So when I then see a channel that is performing really well, I'm gonna look at it. Okay, so can I do this myself? Or like not can I make the videos, but do I see myself running a channel like this, researching it, all of that stuff. And then what you can do is pretty much watch 10 of their best performing videos, see what they're doing, and then you just use that template like as a template or kind of like as the like content format. And then once you've got that, that's like your basis. And then you try and start thinking about, okay, so how can I improve this? How can I make this better? What are they not doing that I want to do? You just improve that. And then you've got yourself a very good video already because you don't have to learn from all of the because they like that channel that is already popular they've probably already made 1,000 mistakes in their content that they've been improving, stuff like that. So when you just take their most popular videos, they probably have a very good like format, script, all of that in that video. You just take that and you're already able to build from a very good position right away, pretty much.
So, what niches have you seen that did the best for you? Like, what niches work the best in your opinion?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's also like one of these questions where like it's literally any niche out there that can work and it cannot work. As long as you make the best content, of course, you're probably going to succeed, but mostly it's all about strategy and then the content. If you can manage to get people watching up to like 50, 60% of your videos, you're definitely going to succeed as long as the niche is actually out there. But yeah, like like every niche can work and every niche may fail, but honestly I'm mostly in the education niche because I might like mainly focus on search traffic, which is kind of like weird for YouTube automation because people mostly focus on
Like
browse and
tutorial
going
videos?
viral. Exactly, so people type in how to blah 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 on
They'll need a
YouTube,
Facebook
and then you'll
account.
see, yeah, exactly, you'll see the top results. I try and show up there and then people click, and that kind of channel is very predictable. So it's not like YouTube is recommending this and then any second they're like, no, let's stop recommending it, and then the views go down. But for this, there's like a certain amount of people searching for these kind of things every day, and it's kind of like a very predictable amount of views and
Yeah.
revenue that I'll be able to get through those kind of videos. The downside
So
to that though is that they're probably not going to go viral and blow up out of nowhere. It's just like very steadily, and it all depends on the search volume.
for those channels, like if you're a new one just starting out, it's gonna be hard to rank higher, and not many
Mm-hmm.
people go to like the third page of YouTube just to like watch a
Yeah, definitely.
just for a video.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
how do you beat your competition?
Yeah. So what I did myself and what I recommend doing is that when you're just getting started, so like you just said, it's very hard to be out there on page one and the top results right away. It's all about the video topic itself. If you've got 0 subscribers, you only have a couple of videos, you're gonna make a video on how to delete your Instagram, which is probably one of the most searched topics in that kind of social media niche. You're probably not gonna rank. So what you would need to do is find less competitive keywords to kind of like break into that niche and kind of get it going. So don't go with the most competitive ones, but start slow. What you can do is go with longer keywords. So instead of how to delete your Instagram in 2021, you'll do how to delete your Instagram on your Android phone in 2021. Now, what that will do is that if people are going to search for that exact phrase and you've got that exact phrase in your title, you'll actually show up over the people that just have how to delete Instagram, because YouTube matches the search term with the title. Those fit together and they'll probably show your video over the other ones. So the more like the longer keyword you'll go with for the search part, you're probably going to show up easier and faster. The only thing is that has less search volume, but of course, if you're just getting started, that is still a great way to get those first couple of views coming in.
Yeah, I think I found a tutorial channel of yours a while ago, but I didn't subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
I searched up like how to copy a Discord server, like a Discord template, and I
Yeah,
think I came across like one of your channels because I just started like
yeah.
I still had like 20,000 subscribers back. I don't know how long ago it was. It was like
Mm-hmm.
months ago. No, yeah.
Yeah.
And I started watching your videos, and I saw your voice was in one of them. So I was like, oh, so yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's definitely possible. Like at this point, I don't even know or remember which exact videos have got out there and which I don't, because there's so many. But yeah, that's
All I
definitely possible.
remember is that you had like green thumbnails on the side here. The most I remember about the channel. I don't know if
Green?
yeah, I'm pretty sure you had like it was like a color here, then
Mm-hmm.
the logo of the app here, something like that.
Like I don't know. Mostly I don't make those thumbnails myself, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, since you're outsourcing then you probably have no clue what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, anyways, moving on.
Mm-hmm.
On your Success Online channel, you post a lot. Why do you post a
Yeah.
lot? Why do you post like 3 times a day, like 4 times a day? Is there a reason behind it, or is it just like why
Yeah, so
not?
that's once again coming back to the search part. There's this guy called Mike Vestal, and he's posting 3 times a day. He's posting 3 videos every day. That guy is like, I don't know how he does it, but he's never missed a day. And his views went from like a couple, maybe 100,000 a month to like 1 million a month. And within his industry, which is the business and finance and pretty much business niche, he had like a 30 or $40 CPM or RPM, I should say. And I saw him making 30, 40, 50K a month on AdSense. And I was like, let's try that model myself. Let's try post 3 videos a day, focusing on the search terms that people type in on YouTube and see if that blows up. So that's kind of like the reason I'm uploading that many videos on that channel to see if that works. And I can tell you guys it's working. So
Yeah.
that channel went from like $20 in revenue per day to $80 in a day after 2 weeks of doing that, which is really fast in my opinion. And now it's doing like just above $100 a day, but I'm gonna outsource that as well myself. I mean, outsource that so I don't have to video myself right now because it's kind of ridiculous making free a day, as you can tell.
Yeah, it actually does work for I have a, like you mentioned in your interview, I have
Hmm.
the Sideman Clips channel.
Yeah.
So I was posting like 10 shorts a day. And it was like, this is views per week, 1 million views per week, 2 million views per week, 3 million views per week, 5 million views per week. And then I started posting like two per day, down to like 1 million, 300,000, 200,000, and I was getting like 50,000 views per day, which isn't a lot compared to like the 700,000 per day I was getting before.
Yeah, so people usually look at that and they're like, he's only getting this many views per day, or no, not per day for that video.
Yeah.
But often you'll see in the back end for that channel, it's pulling so many views.
Mhm.
That's kind of like the key behind those kind of channels that I'm running. When you look at it, you're like, that guy's not getting any views. But then if you look at it on Social Blade or in my studio, it's a ton of views because all of those videos add up and then the views start adding up as well.
So I don't know if you want me to keep this in, but I have found one of your channels, Automation First,
Oh
which
yeah,
you,
for
you
sure.
haven't uploaded in like 6 months. Why
Yeah.
did you stop uploading to that channel?
Yeah, so that's kind of for that channel. I had a vision. I wanted to start selling programs or pretty much build up a personal brand and then monetize that. However, I was running that with a friend of mine.
Yeah.
So I was pretty much doing the recording part. He was doing editing. We kind of had this whole project, this whole idea. Okay, we're gonna start multiple channels. We're gonna do this, and this. And we kind of got overwhelmed because we were so excited. We started doing so many things at once. And then it kind of came to a point where we were messaging back and forth all the time. And we kind of came to the conclusion, okay, this is not really what we want because we literally don't want to have the like obligation to be texting all the time, to be available because we were working together
Yeah.
on that channel and the full project, which people didn't really get to see. We kind of just said, okay, let's start with this. Probably not going to be worth it in the long term, even though it was doing very well, performing. But yeah, kind of had to quit with that, to be honest.
Do you think it's doing a YouTube channel with a friend is easier or doing it by yourself? Which one do you think is
Yeah,
easier?
so in terms of easier, I don't know. Like maybe it's easier because you've got two people, so 2 times as much work. For me personally, I don't really like it, and I don't know if that's just me or that's how it is. It's probably just me. I just want to like when I've got an idea, whatever. I don't really. It's not as if I don't care what other people think about it, but if I'm like, okay, I've got this idea, it's gonna work. I just want to do it myself and start right away. But if I'm working with other people, I need to ask them for permission. Hey, what do you think about this? Stuff like that. And I don't know, I
Yeah.
kind of don't like that. Even though it might work out great, but it's just
Yeah.
you don't have the like you need kind of like to have that permission from them to do this or to do
Yeah.
that or whatever. And I just want to do
Because
it already.
yeah, because like sometimes you want to do something, but you're like, should I do it without telling him? He's gonna get mad at me. I'm gonna tell him, see what he
Yeah.
thinks. He doesn't like it, but I think it's a good idea. I think it'll do well, but he doesn't want to,
Yeah.
so I can't do it. So
Mhm.
yeah, it becomes a mess. And
Exactly. So also with that, of course, if you then like let's say because of that and the other person doesn't agree, you're eventually not going to do it. You're always
then you're
going to
not gonna
be
be
there with like,
friends.
oh, I had this, yeah, but I had this idea, it was probably going to work out. Now I never get to know because of you, and then you're going to start hating, or like not hating, but you're going to blame
Fighting,
it on that person. Yeah.
and a friendship might be lost. That's
Yeah, I
never
mean,
good.
it can definitely happen.
Yeah. So do you sell some of like your channels after you're done with them, or no?
Yes. I'm not like technically, bro. I'm not sure if I should talk about. I'm not sure if it's allowed to actually sell your channel.
I can cut this
Um,
part out.
no, it's fine. But
My
so
channel's not
you
gonna
can
be
just keep
spelled.
it in. Damn.
But yeah.
But let's just talk it as in, okay, I'm actually selling my business, right? My business. So the YouTube channel would fall under that business.
Yeah.
So yes, I have actually sold one of my businesses before, just because I was done with that. And that's a good thing about YouTube automation, comparing to your personal channel. So if you've got a personal channel, you cannot sell that that easily because you're the person, you're the reason that people watch. With YouTube automation, no one is there for you. So you can really like sell it as a company and make good money from that because other people can keep that channel going without you being there, being on that channel. So that's a
Mhm.
very good reason to choose YouTube automation over personal video creation if you're in for actually selling and whatever.
Yeah. Who's like buying these channels? What type of
Yeah,
people?
so that's kind of
Because
like
like who would want to like, I mean, some people would want to buy a YouTube channel because they're too lazy to grow it.
I
But
mean,
I personally think it's better to like start it from zero and have like the experience. Take your channel
yeah,
from
yeah, for
zero
sure.
to 1,000.
Yeah, for sure. But for me personally, right now, for example, I'd definitely be interested in taking over channels. Let's say a channel is making 5K a month, and I can buy that channel for whatever it is, 60K, right? $60,000, and the channel's making 5K a month. I invest that 60K, I keep it going, maybe scale it, or maybe it keeps running at 5K a month. But then after 12 months, I've got my money back and I'm making 5K profit each month. If you're just in for it, I mean, if you're in it for the money, then buying channels, taking over channels is a very good move. So yeah, who's buying them? Who bought them at the time? Who took them over? Just like people also in the space, also doing YouTube automation, and people that already have other channels because they usually have money for it, so they can invest it. They already know it's a working business, so that's kind of like the easiest way because you don't have to convince people, convince them it's a good business model or they can make money. So yeah, kind of like YouTube automation people in general.
How are those channels doing now? Some of the business I have sold.
Yeah, that's actually funny because the person that bought that channel, actually, I sold that for $25K about, I don't know, like 15,
Wow.
maybe 16 months ago, which is pretty, yeah, it's pretty decent, pretty good back at the time. Nah, no, I don't want to sound like that, but it was definitely a very good amount of money.
Yeah. How many subscribers did it have?
100 and somewhat K, but
Okay.
it's more about the revenue it was making. It was making about
Yeah.
$1,800 at the time. So I'm pretty sure I sold it for 15x the amount, which is yeah, not too great, not because I was done with it anyway. So I'm like, yeah, 15x, that's totally fine.
What type of videos were you making? Can you say?
Yeah, those are also finance videos. To be honest, that's the reason I quit with that stuff because back in 2019, going back to when I started, you had like Rise the entrepreneur, Graham Stephan in the business niche, and I kind of want to start at making those videos as well because I had an Instagram theme page business at the time. So I'm like, yeah, let's make content about that. That's probably gonna work. But then once I started, slowly started again into that niche, it kind of shifted, and I'm pretty sure if people are into make money online stuff in general on YouTube, you've probably seen these videos make $1,000 in 10 seconds with a copy paste system on this sketchy website, and
Yeah.
and that's kind of like where that niche was going to, which is why I decided to quit and to not do anything with those like as clickbaity videos
There's
anymore.
this one guy who that's all his content. He literally does the exact same video.
I
But
mean,
yeah.
there's so many. It's working, and that's why there are so many. But I just kind of didn't want to be known for that kind of stuff anymore, or no
Yeah, like
longer.
copy and
Kind of,
YouTube Shorts and make money online, like stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah. So even though there are definitely some people out there, a lot of them probably that are making those kind of videos, but actually provide value.
Yeah.
But there are also a lot of them that are like just spammy
Scamming.
videos. They don't
Mhm.
work. So there's a huge difference in those. But because of those spammy videos, the spammy channels out there, the good guys have got to move with those spammy ones because otherwise they're not gonna get views and win in this game. Because the scammy guys are going to be like earn $1,000 per second with copy and paste, and then the good guys are going to be like $1,000 per month working 10 hours per day. You know that it sounds less
The
attractive.
one you
People
would
want,
probably click is a more scammy one.
yeah, exactly. And that's why the good guys had to also come up with
Shift.
these sketchy titles. And so, yeah, it was kind of like
Yeah.
moving the wrong way, to be honest.
But yeah, that makes total sense. Like you mentioned, how are those channels doing now? Is it making more money, less money? Did the channel die?
Yeah. So last time I checked, that channel actually died. And the person, I don't know why, the person bought it for, like I said, 25K
You know the name of the
dollars.
channel? The name? I can bleep it out.
No, I don't know. He
Okay.
changed it, so I don't know. I didn't even know. Last time I checked, he had the same name, so I was able to find it, but it went down, and probably because he stopped posting or he
Did
didn't
he delete the
execute it the
channel?
right way. No, I don't know.
Oh,
He
okay.
just he just stopped posting. Frequent upload here and then like 2 weeks no upload and then upload. But back at the time, I was probably posting 5 times a week or at least somewhere in that range. So he went from or that channel went from that to whatever amount. So yeah, I'm not sure what happened, but for him it didn't work out for me, it worked out great. You're muted, bro.
I'm guessing you made a profit like off of that channel. Did you or?
Yeah, for sure. So that was the channel that I started myself in 2019. That's the one I grew. So I didn't spend any money on that apart from editing and
Oh,
outsourcing that sometimes. So like I said, it was making like 1800 at the time when I sold it for 25K. So yeah, that was a very good profit. And that
for
was
you,
actually
it turned out perfectly.
mid 2020 in July, I guess. Revenue went down from all of the stuff that happened a couple months prior. I'm not gonna mention it on camera because I'm not sure if they're gonna
Don't worry.
demonetize anything like that. But we all know what happened in March 2020. So the revenue went down. Then I actually sold that business. And then I used that money to fund the other YouTube automation channels. So it's kind of like a perfect transition into that side of YouTube.
Yeah. So that was the last question I had.
Mm-hmm.
So I have these two questions I want to start asking, like two really
Sure.
random questions. The first one is just a random. This question is probably the most random question I'll ever get on the podcast. But what goes first, the milk or the cereal? What goes first, the milk or the cereal?
Dude, I don't even know. I would say I never eat that, bro. I've got no clue.
Okay. Wow.
I don't even know. I'm not even sure.
I've been asking these in my past couple of podcasts. And you're the first person that says, I don't know. They always
Oh
say
man.
the cereal goes first. And I disagree. I think the milk
I
goes first. But
Nah, when I think about it, I would also say cereal first. Yeah, and then you pour the milk.
yeah, I pour the milk first. Only
I mean,
I've only met one other person that does that, but
yeah,
yeah.
so probably you're probably the weirdo then.
Yeah. But yeah, the less weirder question. Do you have any
Mhm.
advice for anyone that wants to start YouTube automation on YouTube?
Yeah, for sure. So for anyone watching that wants to get started, and it can be anything to be honest, not even YouTube automation or YouTube or whatever it is that you want to do, just get started. Don't try and be perfect. Just get started. When I started myself, I had no clue what I was going to do in the first place. I had no clue I was going to do YouTube automation. But when you start, you just start with what you know. You don't have to know everything. Just get started. And then you just start bumping into these problems one at a time. You solve it, you continue, you solve it, you continue. And then eventually you just keep going up. You start figuring out how it works. And then you just move from this thing to that thing. You just keep going up pretty much. Or at least that's what happened for me and most of my friends as well. Like you don't have to know everything in order to start. Just start and then you'll learn eventually. That is pretty much
Yeah.
I know it sounds very cliche and very, yeah, whatever, but honestly, that is how it is. You
It's the
just
best
start
advice.
and then yeah, but I mean, people want to, these days, people just want to hear, okay, in order to start, okay, you should do this. Then once you've done that, you're going to do this, and then you'll be rich or then you'll succeed. But
Get rich
I
quick
don't know,
schemes.
like, yeah, but it's just not like that. You got to figure it out. It's not like, okay, do step one, step two, step three. It's really all over the place. And then somehow, if you just keep going, most of the time you end up succeeding.
I mean, you're totally right because you do things for a long time. I say
Hmm.
for 1 year, you will learn so much in that 1 year,
Yeah,
and every year
exactly.
you keep on learning more, and you'll keep on growing more. To get exponential, and then you'll eventually reach your goal.
Yeah, exactly. So also a thing that can happen if you're already starting to think ahead and like, okay, but then what do I do? You're creating all of these problems in your mind before actually starting. And then it's very likely that you're like, okay, all of these things, I'm not going to succeed at this. But if you just
Mhm.
start, you just solve them one at a time, that's much better.
Yeah, if you want to start anything, just take his advice. And thank you so much, Youri, for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
This really means a lot. All your links will be in the description. Success Online will be in the description. Your Instagram